AGR verdict 1st September. Airtel gets relief, but Vodafone's still in mess. The Supreme Court on September 1st finally pronounced a verdict in the AGR case, permitting staggered payment of dues over the next 10 years. Bharti Airtel stock gained 5%, but Vodafone Idea tanked by 15% intraday after the verdict. Experts say this is good for telecom companies, even though the period of 10 years is lesser than the expected 15 to 20 years. They say the verdict could work in favor of Reliance Jio and Bharti Airtel, but might be a matter of survival for Vodafone Idea. Indian telecom industry is moving to a virtual duopoly, which is not desirable. For the stock market, the verdict is mixed, since it is positive for Bharti and RIL. These two heavyweight stocks are likely to support the market. The trouble for Vodafone will not only cost its stock, but also impact the stocks of banks that have lent to Vodafone. Select banks could see some pressure in the near term, which have exposure to Vodafone Idea, as staggered payment allowed for 10 years, instead of company government demanded 15-20 years. And investors will wait and watch mode, as tomorrow's Supreme Court also gives hearing on interest charged on the interest component for the moratorium. Judgment details. The Supreme Court in its judgment said it has allowed telecom companies for staggered payment of adjusted gross revenue, AGR, dues, over the next 10 years. The 10-year payment timeline will begin from April 1, 2021. Telecom companies will submit undertaking to pay AGR dues as per Supreme Court order, and will pay 10% upfront. Any default in AGR due payments would invite interest, penalty, along with contempt of court, said the Supreme Court. In case of spectrum sale, the court agreed that whether spectrum sale can be allowed under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, IBC, is to be decided by National Company Law Tribunal, reports CNBC-TV 18. What next option of review and curative petition is available with telcos for two things: inclusion of spectrum usage charge, SUC, related charges, as the case was only related to license fee and timelines of payment. Elimination of SUC in the liability could reduce the liability by around 1/3. The verdict is positive for Bharti Airtel and Reliance Industries, as liability of Aircel, Rs 14,000 crore, and Video.com, Rs 1,300 crore, will not fall on Bharti Airtel, and Reliance Communications, Rs 31,000 crore, will not fall on Reliance Jio, who have acquired their spectrum. Assuming 8% interest rate, Bharti and Vodafone Idea will now have to pay annually Rs 3,900 crore and Rs 7,500 crore respectively. With 0% interest rate, this reduces to Rs 2,600 crore, Rs 5,000 crore respectively. Bharti Airtel will be able to manage the payment with a free cash flow of over Rs 10,000 crore in FY20, with no tariff hike built, while Vodafone Idea with a bit of Rs 6,000 crore and annual payment should find it difficult to manage. The judgment is a relief for Bharti Airtel, as they won't have to pay for old dues of companies from whom they bought spectrum. The chances for Vodafone to raise funds, have better models and give paybacks commitment are small, which is adding to the pressure on this stock.